Podcast. All right, we're back. Week 1 is in the books. Call it officially back. I think I've said we're officially back at the start of each of the last 3 episodes, but we're officially back this week. The games have been played. The scores have been put up. The scoreboard is filled. Matchups complete. Well, not quite complete. I'm recording this before Monday Night Football, so it's going to be a little inaccurate. Maybe a little. Most matchups are decided. There's maybe one quote coin toss. Actually, no. All matchups have been decided. It just depends on the final scores is all. But anyways, we're back. It's great to be back. Who doesn't love being back? You know? It's always the best part of the show when characters come back, or when the hero comes back and saves the day. Fantasy is coming back and it is saving the day. So let's just get into it. All right. So, the most obvious thing we can talk about is just how bad the league did as a whole. The league did. Obviously, I'm not going to say that individual teams did bad, because there were definitely some good individual performances. But if we just consider ourselves a whole right now as the Justice League, and I mean we can blame it on the NFL. How bad the NFL did. We did bad. It's been trending down. It has been trending down since 2020. Actually, no, that's false. We did slightly better in 2021. But if we just take a look back, we've got our 2020 league average score was 98.2 with a standard deviation of 20. So kind of variable, not gonna lie. Our league average in 2021, thank you, was 99.1. So pretty improved. 0.9 performance. Standard deviation was 20.5. I'm not gonna lie. I really don't know if the standard deviation means that much. Yeah, I think it might mean more for the entire season if we took the standard deviation of the entire season. You know what I mean? Anyways, week 1 of 2022, league average was 96.1. So you could already see the cracks starting to form last year. And like I said, the results aren't fully in. Don't really know what the scores are going to finish out to be. There could be some better performances and, you know, some ups and some numbers, but the preliminary results are in, and I've used the projected points from ESPN's projected points to evaluate this, and the projected league average is going to be an 84.2. 84.2. So that would certainly show up as an outlier on a cheeky box and whisker plot, right? Can someone back me up on that? 98.2 followed by a 99.1 followed by a 96.1 drops down to an 84.2. That's dreadful. And honestly, we're buoyed by Luke. So we're buoyed by the Dallas defense. Let's give the Dallas defense 10 points. So I'm going to cut 25 points off Luke's score, minus 25. Just for Luke, you earned it. You earned the 148.06. I'm not going to take that away from you. I just want to see, theoretically, what the numbers, how bad they could have been. So that cuts down Luke to a 123. At that point, the league average would have been an 81.7. 81.7. Think about that. Take that home. Put that in your pipe and smoke it. So Luke alone brought us up by 3 points. So yeah, really carrying the league. Thank you to Luke. So anyways, but I mean, obviously, let's blame it on the NFL. It's not our fault, clearly. You know, I mean, Tristan had a decent bench, and we can get into all this, but even if we all played our perfect, I'd love to see this on Matthew's, old thing. His his weekly analysis. I would love to see it. if we had all scored our max points, how much better would we have done as a league? I'm not convinced we would have done all that much better. I think maybe we would have cracked the 90s, but that's still like a 6-point average drop, which is pretty abysmal. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and clear out these preliminary scores just so that I do not get myself confused, my future self. The only teams that are done are Aiden, Luke, and myself. So Aiden, Luke, and myself. Let's get rid of everyone else's scores for the time being. Okay. I think that's all I want to say with that, and then we can get into some individual performances here. All right, I'm going to save mine for last so that you guys can just skip ahead, because it's probably going to be like 20 minutes of ranting, and I'm going to dive in and just start praising Luke. So, honestly, I've got short-term memory. I do not recall what I said about Luke's team, although he did say he was keeping the receipts. I wrote him off, but he ain't right back. I forget what I said. I really do. I think he was definitely featured in the last podcast. I definitely talked about him for a while, but in my defense, was I the only one that oh, I didn't update that, did I? Was I the only one that had him ranked poorly? Oh, I didn't do a welcome to the league note this year. I forgot. I usually have something. Whatever. I guess I'll just do a closing note this year. Extra emotional closing note. I didn't post it. Wow. Did I not post it? Okay, whatever. I've got the text from Zach. I'll just frickin' shut up. Get out of here. Oh, it's asking me to sign in. Okay, I'll be right back. All right, hand up. I like to throw Zach under the bus for some reason. I guess for some reason my memory was doing the reverse order. I thought it was Luke was the worst draft rank and Matt was the best, but now that I look back on that was dumb. So Zach called it. Zach A1 got it. Nail on the head with Luke's draft analysis. He gave him a high ranking, and boy howdy, did Luke respond emphatically. Thank you, Zach, is what Luke said. You proven him right. And then proved him wrong. Only weakness is the QB, Deshaun Watson, 20 points. Not bad. Pretty good contribution. Everything else is really great. He got that on the head. I mean, okay, Josh Jacobs did whatever. Denver's defense is good. We'll give him that. Aaron Jones proved me wrong. I mean, he went off. Shows how much I know. Guy was like, I thought he was going to do crappy, but maybe, you know what? Actually, I will stand by my take. Aaron Jones may have had a good week 1, but Aaron, I love you, man. You served my team well. You're gonna stink the rest of the season. I'm digging into that take. I'm not letting go of that take. Oh, I didn't know that. Okay, well now I feel bad. I didn't know Aaron Jones got injured on the third quarter of the game. So Aaron Jones is still being evaluated after leaving Saturday's win over the Bears in the third quarter. That's on me. Did not know that he got injured. So now I feel kind of bad. But I guess we'll see. Maybe he'll be fine. Tyreek Hill, great pick. Dog. Mike Evans turned out to be dog. TJ Hawkinson, underwhelming performance, but Minnesota as a whole just was underwhelming performance. Jahmyr Gibbs, not a great fantasy line, but looked really good. Looked very good. Looked very dangerous. And then, 35 points by the Dallas Cowboys defense. I mean, give Luke the props for the foresight. I guess they were projected 7.2 points, which is pretty good. But I don't know. At New York, I'm surprised. I think we all should be surprised that they won 40-0. And we should all be surprised that the Dallas defense got 35 points. But I guess I'm surprised that... I don't know what to say. I don't know where I'm going with that. Like, we should all be surprised. It's not just me, right? I would hope. I mean, Luke had the foresight to get him. I don't know if he was on anyone else's radar, but Dallas defense was not on my radar week 1. So yeah, Luke did a great job there, and then he's got Rodgers and Allen Lazard on the bench. Which now, seeing that and seeing what Luke's team has done, I'm like, wow, Rodgers is probably going to drop like a 30 piece, and Allen Lazard is going to get 18 points, something crazy like that. So Luke's going to start 1-0. Luke's going to start 1-0 on the season. Another great start to the season from him. All right, if we go elsewhere across the league, next highest performance so far. Note, Matthew's got the potential, but Aaron putting up 94.6 with one player left on Monday night. Not just one player, Stephon Diggs. Aaron could easily finish with like 115. But Aaron's team's looking really solid across the board. Trevor Lawrence had a pretty good performance. Had a couple mistakes, but still very good. Tony Pollard looked solid. David Montgomery looked solid. Calvin Ridley, unbelievable. I mean, you could claim he's got to clean up his flex spot with Rachaad White. I don't know much about Rachaad White or the Tampa Bay team, so I don't know what they're going to do with him, but heck, he's got Mark Andrews and A.J. Dillon and Jordan Addison and Elijah Moore waiting in the wings. Maybe even Sam Laporta late in the season if Laporta starts going off. I thought he looked pretty good in the Kansas game. And then unexpectedly good defensive performance from Aaron. He got 14 points on defense. You would not find me saying that often last season, if at all. So yeah, well done. And again, nail on the head by Zach. Zach had Aaron at number 2 in his draft rankings. So Zach, you're saying that, well, all this shows is that my rankings mean nothing. I mean, you're not wrong. They do mean nothing, but again, they're still fun, and it's cool that you did it. It's cool that you're calling your shots right now. You're hitting them. It's sick. Okay, so next up, next best performance, at least next best projected performance is going to be from Matthew. Again, another pretty solid team effort. Justin Herbert and Eckler leading the way with 20 and 22 points. He's still got Dalvin Cook and Garrett Wilson. I'm hoping for a big performance from Garrett Wilson. I got him in another league. And then bench was mediocre, but Brandon Ayuk was on his bench. And so throw Ayuk in there temporarily. Bench Chris Olave. Matthew's already looking at 107 heading into Monday night with Dalvin Cook waiting in the wings. So good team performance. Well done to Matthew for getting the Baltimore Ravens defense. I was looking for him. Oh, he got him from waivers. Oh, that's true. Why did I literally drafted the Baltimore defense in every other league. Oh, well, whatever. I'm a dummy. Dallas Goedert, 0 points. So tight end might need some work. I don't know. Charbonnet, Quentin Johnson. I mean, yeah. Everyone's bench looks bad, but Matthews actually looks good because he's got Brandon Ayuk. It's just the rest of the bench that doesn't look good. So yeah, well done to Matthew. Zach had him at 8. Zach had him at 8. So proving the haters wrong there. That's Zach's first miss. His first miss so far is Matthew at 8. And then also the fantasy standings, the final projection from ESPN had Matthew at 10. They've got him at a whopping 9th now. But still, put some respect on this guy's name. I mean, yeah, we'll see. We'll see what Matthew's team can do in the future. I mean, week 1 was a good week for Matthew. I would take that all day long. So, I don't know what else to say. We'll just keep going down the line. Best performances. Next best after Matthew is tough, because it's going to be a toss-up between Alex and Tristan, I would say. Tristan has a kicker left to play, while Alex has Breece Hall, a running back, left to play, both going into Monday night. Both Alex is at 69 points, Tristan is at 68. So I'll give it to Alex. Tristan, no disrespect, but I'll just say for now Alex had the next best performance. Because looking at his team, he kind of did. Dolphins' defense was a miss, but he got 17 points from his kicker, 13 points. Amon-Ra and the flex is crazy. I would love Amon-Ra in my wide receiver too. DK Metcalf did well. Justin Jefferson did well, per usual. And honestly, Alex would have had, a better fighting chance if Joe Burrow actually was worth his salt. He maybe wouldn't have beat Matthew, but he would have left that game looking a lot better, I think. Because there's still 1, 2, 3, 4. That's still 4 10-plus point performances. And if Joe Burrow added on, that would have been 5. And that would have been, that's pretty decent. 5 10-plus point performances. That usually goes a long way. But don't worry, Alex has Tua and Danny Dimes waiting in the wings to take over for Justin Burrow. So no big deal for Alex. Christian Kirk, honestly, turning out to be kind of a disappointment. 0.9 fantasy points. I thought he was going to be maybe the next best guy, but it's really looking like, what's his name? Zay Jones is going to be the next best guy. Okay, so we'll move on to Tristan now. I think we're doing pretty good. This might be a short episode. I'm just kind of flying through it right now. Yeah, Tristan looks like he's really going to only end up with 3 10-plus point performances. Maybe Tyler Bass gets 10-plus points, but still that's only 4. About the same as Alex. But also Alex has potential to get 5, so we'll see. The Justin Fields reach by Tristan is not looking good after week 1. Not looking good. I mean, okay, I feel bad saying it was a reach. It definitely wasn't a reach now that I'm looking at it. 5th round, that's not so bad. I think I called it a reach in the power rankings, but I'm not gonna change it. Let's see what else. Yeah, Justin Fields, I mean, if we look at him, he's got Tampa Bay, Kansas City, Denver, Washington. So Tampa Bay's it's too early to call, but Tampa Bay, that could be a struggle. At Kansas City, he can get numbies there. He can get numbies at Kansas City, especially if Chris Jones isn't back, right? Denver at home might be a struggle. At Washington is probably going to be a struggle. But there on out, he'll probably be okay. So Tristan just has to suffer through, a wishy-washy first couple weeks. That's what my fantasy eye sees. I see that Tristan's gonna have to struggle with Justin Fields for these first couple weeks, kind of maybe some hot cold performances, and then it'll level out by midseason. It'll look much better. Yeah, the Tennessee offense did not look good. Did not look good at all. I feel like I should be a Derrick Henry believer, but for some reason I think I might start just being a hater for him. Really wish Tristan would have taken my trade for Etienne. I was gonna give him, Jalen Hurts, but he doesn't want to trade away ETN, which I guess makes sense. But whatever. Jalen Waddle with a pretty muted performance. Deontay Johnson, kind of below average, I would say. Evan Ingram, pretty okay. Dameon Pierce, I mean, they were playing tough Baltimore defense, so maybe he'll bounce back. Tristan Bench, yeah, looks pretty good. Rashawn Johnson from Chicago, I guess, is their number 1. I don't know. Tristan saw that was a good pickup. By Tristan. Jacoby Myers is looking like a good pick. Did he pick him? Yeah, he did pick him around 13. But he also got injured, so hopefully Jacoby Myers can come back. Samaji Perrine's looking pretty good for Tristan's bench. J.K. Dobbins is not looking good. Rest in peace. I think that's kind of all I want to say about Tristan's team. I feel like I definitely flew over Luke and Aaron and Matthew. I don't know why I flew by them so quickly, but because I probably should have talked more about them because they had the best performances. So maybe I'll loop back around. I'll loop back around and hit him on the return. Okay, the next best performance is Matt with 67. So we're halfway through, and the best performance is a 67. He's projected to get 71 because he's got Dalton Kincaid, who might pop off. But that Christian McCaffrey pick is looking solid right now. The rest of his team is looking meh. So let's see. Zach had him at 10th in draft. Oh, I forgot to look. Where did Tristan? Zach had Tristan at 6, which is probably fair. It's probably fair, you know. Where did Zach have Alex? Zach had Alex pretty low, number 9. So probably fair, but I guess we'll see as the season goes on. I mean, right now, Alex had like the 4th best performance. So deserves better than 9, and he gets better than 9, I think, in the power rankings this week. He does get better than 9. Gosh, I hate this stupid text. Whatever. Oh, yeah. So, yeah, we got Matt. And Christian McCaffrey carried his team with 22.9 points. Disappointing. Very disappointing from Lamar Jackson. 6.56 points. Only 169 passing yards. But pretty good percentage. 77.3 completion percentage. Only attempted 22 passes. Yeah, pretty muted. Full story, I guess they want me to see. Oh, yeah, great. They want me to get ESPN Plus to read the recaps. Thanks. Love it. Thanks, ESPN. Oh, wait, no. Never mind. Here we go. Let's see what ESPN has to say. Jackson was certainly efficient, but the offseason talk of the Ravens being more pass-oriented never really came to fruition with Baltimore. Mostly in control from the middle of the third quarter onward. When he did put the ball up, Jackson displayed impressive chemistry with rookie Zay Flowers. Yada, yada, yada. Yeah, I mean, this is probably why I should have talked more about Matthew, Luke, and Aaron's teams, because as we get to the bottom here, it's like, who cares? Just had crap all around. No offense, Matt, but team did okay for week 1 considering the circumstances, but in considering overall fantasy, the history of fantasy football, from 1970 till now, did pretty bad. And that's not and that's going to come back around and bite me because of my performance that we'll get to. Next up is Aiden, 66.22 points. Only had 2 people score above 10 on his team. Both his kicker and his defense. It's kind of funny. Yeah. Not much to say. Aiden's got Zay Flowers, though. So that'll probably be... Aiden should start playing him soon. Wow, Aiden's wide receiver room is unreal now that I'm looking at it. Jamar Chase, CeeDee Lamb, Keenan Allen, and Zay Flowers. And then Jerry Jeudy, whenever Jerry Jeudy comes back from defense or injury. I'll be interested to see how Aiden plays quarterback the rest of the year. He's got Cousins waiting in the wings, but that Dak, the Cowboys won 40-0, and Dak finished with 6.32 fantasy points. I guess you could argue they were maybe trying to keep him healthy or whatever, because the defense was just doing that well, which, probably fair, but definitely disappointing. Sorry, I'm going to take a drink of water here. Definitely disappointing fantasy-wise. Yeah, I'm flying through this. We're only 20 minutes in. Sheesh. Got a lot to go still. Or not that much to go still. Okay. We'll slot Connor in next. Just because I don't know what he's going to do, but I think it's not going to be, bottom two. He's got Josh Allen. Monday Night Football Josh Allen, I'll have you know, who's done very well. So Connor's team's looking fine. Alexander Madison, 10-4, not bad. Nick Chubb, 12-7, not bad. Raheem Mostert, a.k.a. Must Start, which Connor followed that rule, got 11. I'm a little surprised Pittman didn't start, but looking at Connor's wide receivers, I can understand. I mean, T. Higgins, Devontae Adams, you'd expect good stuff out of them. T. Higgins putting up a goose egg, though, is embarrassing. So I'll be interested to see if Connor slots Pittman Jr. in there. For who, I don't know, maybe T. Higgins. Me, personally, I would keep T. Higgins in. I would keep him in just because of how whack, this week 1 was. He's got the Baltimore defense next week, which I think it sounded like they got injured a little bit. They got knocked up. But, yeah, we'll see. I would keep him in. I think the review, let's see, the review is... Oh, that's the week 1 projection. Spin. Yeah, they say Higgins topped 1,000 yards in each of the previous 2 seasons, so he's likely to shake off his clunker in week 2 against the Ravens. I agree. Just, Connor, do what you want, but I think you should keep him in there. I do like Pittman, though, in the future. Well, I don't know. Connor could play a cheeky little duo here with Anthony Richardson and Michael Pittman. And if he had done that, theoretically, this week, he would have been sitting at 84 points, which is still not great, but better at league average, technically, but would have been better without the outlier Luke. I'm surprised the Giants' defense even had a point. How did they have a point? That just doesn't seem fair. Why would my defense get negative points? I guess it was 30 points, but still, negative 2 points. The Giants' defense let up 40 points. What the heck is up with that? Anyways, seems a bit rich that the Giants defense can salvage a point out of that. That stinker. Anyways, Connor's probably going to finish. He'll finish with 70. It'll bump up the league average a bit. Right. Bottom 2 performances. Oh, where did Zach have Connor? Dang it. Didn't save. Let me go find it. Zach had Connor at 3. So Connor puts up a bottom 3-ish, maybe. We'll see. Yet to be seen performance. So basically, Zach hit pretty well with the top guys, I'd say. Well, top 2 guys. And Aiden. He hit well with Luke, Kaplan, Aiden. Maybe, no, not really himself. Tristan at 6 is fair, yeah. Me at 7, no, I should have been 10. Matthew at 8 was a miss. Alex at 9 is to be determined. Matt at 10 is, a little disrespectful, but probably not crazy. I mean, it's whatever. So, yeah, we'll wrap up with Zach here. Zach's got 60.3 points heading into Monday Night Football with the Bills defense on his waiting to play. The rest of his team, kind of pitiful. Not pitiful, but just nothing to gawk at. I mean, really nothing to talk about here. And I don't mean that, like, it's going to sound bad that I say that about Zach's team and then go talk about my team for 20 minutes, but it's because it's my team. It's my podcast, my team. So I'm talking about them, and your guys are going to hear the full thing. So if I have anything to say. I might just end early. I might just say, hit the showers, come back out week 2. I don't even know. Fuming out here. But yeah, so really, Zach's team, not much to talk about here. Devonta Smith was the one bright spot along with Mahomes. The Kelsey injury stinks, but I think once Kelsey comes back, as Matthew said in the group chat, or maybe was it Luke? Someone said it in the group chat, the Mahomes-Kelsey partnership is going to look tasty. Tasty, tasty. I agree. I very much agree, because they've got no other receivers. So, before we wrap up, let's just reevaluate where that leaves us. So, Aaron's going to finish, start 1-0 on the season. Connor's going to drop to 0-1. Matthew's going to go to 0-1, and Alex will drop to Matthew's going to improve to 1-0, and Alex will drop to 0-1. We already said Luke. Luke faced Zach, so Luke beat Zach. Luke will start 1-0, and Zach 0-1. And this game remains to be seen. Nah, it's pretty much set in stone. Tristan will most likely, unless Tyler Bass pulls a Graham Gano, waiting for Gano, performance and has a -2. If that happens, that'd be kind of funny. I kind of want it to happen now. No offense, Tristan. I kind of want it to happen. It would be that'd be pretty funny if Aiden won because Tristan's kicker got -2 points. That'd be kind of typical too. Typical rollover from last year, where Tristan just could not handle the loser slack offs like Jim. Just something about him. Alrighty. Alright, the part of the podcast that I know everyone loves so much is when I talk about my team. So we'll start with the team name. I'm pretty happy with what I came up with. I think it was kind of clever. But I was struggling. I did do a couple last-second changes, and I think that might have hurt my juju a little bit. I'm not, I kept changing the format, making all these slight tweaks, and I think I should have just stuck with what I came up with, boom, there, off the spot. I think that would have been better. But I made some tweaks. So it started off as 2 TWOB Robinson, or not TOBE. So 2B Robinson, or not 2B. And then I tweaked it. Let me just verify that real quick. Yeah, 2B Robinson, or not. And then I had TOB period, which looking at it didn't make sense. So then I tweaked it to 2B Robinson, or not 2B Robinson. And then I realized that didn't, sound as close to the quote as I would have liked it to. And then I changed it one more time, and I think this was kind of the death of me. I think if I just kept it at the 2B Robinson, or what I really should have made it, and maybe I'll make it this change this week, maybe hopefully improve the juju a little bit, but I think it should be 2 TWOB Robinson, or not TOBE 2B. But I do kind of like the way that I came up with, because right now it's TWO2 B Robinson, or not TWO2 B period. Which, now that I look at it, it's kind of dumb. I think I should finish it with the proper Shakespeare quote. I think that's the way to go. And I guess the reason I was thinking I should have the 2B at the end is because it's, it's kind of going off of like, should I play 2B Robinson this week or not 2B Robinson this week? So I don't know. I think that's why I originally did the 2B Robinson or not 2B Robinson, because damn it, maybe that is good. I don't know. I'll need to consult some my team. I'll need to consult my team about that and come up with something, and hopefully solidify a good team name by the start of next week. But yeah, dreadful performance from my team. Finished with a whopping 59.4 points. And just going down the list, looking at the team, looking at what happened, I'm really not, you guys are going to hate this, but I'm really not that disappointed in the way that my team played. had 3 10-plus point performances. Jalen Hurts, okay. Yeah, I expect 20-plus points from Jalen Hurts, but still 10-plus point performance. 10-plus point performance from him, 10-plus from Bijan, and 10-plus from Brian Robinson Jr. And the rest of my team, 5.4, 7.9, 6.3, 4.4. So what really killed me and what really makes my squad look bad, worse than every other team. Like most other team, the league average is not good. It's not looking good. Lots of 60s on the board. It's going to be a lot of 70s tomorrow. And so considering that and just looking at the two main issues was my defense and my kicker both getting negative points. I will verify this right now, but I don't think anyone else's defense or kicker. Okay. Alex's defense got negative 1 point. But guess how that was made up for? 17 points by his kicker. Okay, remains to be seen with Zach. We'll see. No other combination in the league had that. Like, no other combination was that bad. Tristan remains to be seen, but might finish up with like 7 points. Aiden, 24 points from his defense and kicker combined. Luke, 40 points from his kick. Luke had a great performance. I'm not going to use him. Scratch that. Scratch that from the record. Zach, 7 points, and remains to be seen from the Buffalo defense. But still, maybe positive. We'll see. Matthew, 20 points. Alex, combined 16 points. Could have been better. Alex could have done better, sure. Aaron, 21 points. The only other relatively bad combined performance was from Connor, who got combined 4 points, and his quarterback is still yet to go, and he's projected to finish 70 points. So, And then Matt finished with 17 points. So, okay, let's give me 16 more. Give me 16 points. Spot me 16 points, and I'm back up to 75. And I'm looking relatively, remind you, much better. So that's why I'm not that worried. It was just really, my special teams was dreadful. I could not have foreseen how dreadful they would have been. I just couldn't help but hear all week long that the Rams were just so bad, and then all of a sudden 30 points against the Seahawks defense in Seattle. I mean, yeah, the Seahawks defense was only projected 5 points. So not very good. Maybe the writing was on the wall there. I should have seen it coming. But 5 -2? That's crazy. That's annoying. That makes me so mad. Graham Gano, waiting for Gano. Dreadful. -2 points from a kicker. How often does that happen? -2 points from a kicker. Okay, if we spot me the projected points total, that's 13 points. Give me 13 points combined from those guys. I'm trying to figure out in my head is, do I feel like I need to add 4 and then add 13. Yeah, okay, add 4. So now I'm at 63, and then at 13, again, 76. I'm high 70s. I'm not looking bad, and I maybe come away with a win week 1. And that's what was so important for Aaron last year, was he wasn't able to really break out and break free and win some of these games, I think. We'll see. I'll just check real quick. Because of how bad week in, week out his defense did. I mean, he had a great stretch of points in the middle of the season that he shouldn't have been worried about. But what did Aaron finish on the season? Aaron finished, had a pretty good clip, to be honest. Wins. Aaron finished 8-5. I'm not going to go research, but I'm guessing that Aaron's team could have done much better had his defense has not been so bad. So, I mean, shame on me for not having a good defense and not having a good kicker, but if I'm gonna fail in two positions, those are the positions that I want, because you can stream. I can pick up a kicker, no problem. I can pick up a defense, no problem. So the rest of my team, I'm not worried about. AJ Brown and Jalen Hurts, I'm not worried about them. That was a weird, slippery game. Bajan, I'm not too worried about him. I was very disappointed to see Algier get all that goal line work. I think ESPN had something to say about him, improving upon that, and they'll get him more in there. But I'm pretty happy with where Bajan was. I'm pretty happy just looking at Pacheco running against Detroit. I thought he looked like a very good runner. He only finished with 54 total yards, but happy with the way that he looked running. Like I think he looked good, and I think he'll continue to get touches on that team. Debo, yeah, I'm disappointed, but again, ESPN had, basically the same thought as me. Is like, it was Ayuk's week this week, but it'll be Debo's another week. He'll 6.3 won't be typical. I don't think. I think he'll improve to start to hover around 10. Pretty happy with Brian Robinson getting 12 there. I think that'll continue. I don't think he's gonna really put up crazy numbers, but I think he'll hover around that 8 points to 12 points area. Maybe not against Denver, so probably gonna sub him out. And then on the bench, pretty pitiful bench. I know Mike Williams got hurt, so I'm not gonna freak out about that. James Cook, who knows? Sky Moore probably getting axed this week. Cortland Sutton's day was salvaged by a short touchdown, but he might be gone. We'll see. Okonkwo, I was disappointed. I was very disappointed by Okonkwo. I think Tennessee will start to figure it out, but definitely disappointed to see him put up a goose egg. Nico Collins with 8 points. I think, did he lead the team in targets or receiving yards? I don't know, but I'm pretty happy with that. The reason I'm happy, he had 11 targets, 6 receptions. I'm happy with that because it's depth. So should Debo get hurt or should he start performing bad, I do feel somewhat comforted by the fact that I am going to have this wide receiver 1 on my bench in Nico Collins that, will provide some depth, and I can be like, you know what, he's at least not going to get 2 points this week. He'll probably get 7. I don't think he'll get more than 14 in a game this season, but he'll just be at least that solid rock that if Debo or someone goes down, I can at least slot him in. So, yeah. So that's why I'm still, convinced by Debo. And then Darnell Mooney seemed to have fair enough chemistry. Only targeted 5 times, but targeted 7 times. So, yeah, not bad. Targeted 7 times and had a touchdown, pulled in a touchdown. So, another wide receiver, I think wide receiver number 2 on that team. So, I'm fine. Nothing really more to say about that. So yeah, that's my team, and that's why I'm not that worried about it. I've just convinced myself, because I realized I was going to go into that roasting the heck out of my team for getting 59.4 points, but for some reason, I've come out of that thinking, hey, my team's not so bad, because I'm just an idiot. But yeah, no, definitely a bummer to start the season 0-1, because then it's just going to feel like a long slog until you get that first win, and who knows when I get that first win. I guess if we take a look at my schedule real quick, got to hit those R's better. Still struggling with them. Jeez, at 24. Okay, so I got Tristan. Again, no offense to Tristan, but if my defense does better, I'll put a very similar number to him. Then I got to go face Matthew, though, which is not a good look. So the first team on my schedule that I'm seeing is like a, quote, guaranteed win is not till week 6. So that's going to be tough. If I start the season 0-5, that would be tough. The good news is it's a long season. The bad news is there's no way if I start 0-5, I'm winning out. That would be just ridiculous. Alrighty, well, I kind of breezed through week one. I think that was a kind of a average episode. You guys will have to let me know in the comments, but I don't know. I don't know what else to say. I mean, there's not too much action. I might be sending out some trades this week. It'll be interesting to see who gets who on the waiver wire and all that, and how it all changes in week two, and maybe I can overreact in week two, but I just can't help but not overreact this week. I mean, Luke's team's a beast, and the rest of the league kind of stunk. We'll see where Matthew finishes up. Probably around 100 points. We'll see. Aaron's going to finish up just over 100 points. So Matthew or Aaron's going to, one of those guys is going to be the number 2 to Luke coming out of week 1. And yeah, there's not much to say. I can't wait to see you guys in London. It'll be fun. And so no podcast next week. But then I'll be back on the horse the following week. So take care, have fun, and see you soon. Ciao.